Good morning, dear students. We are studying the chapter Theseus and the Minotour, and in this chapter we have already studied about the Athens and the king of Athens, who was Theseus, and Theseus' son was there, Aegis, and he come to a particular village, and there they met Aethra, and they both fall in love, and they married each other, and after that they had a son, and the name of the son is Theseus. And this boy, when he was very small, his father had to go back to the country for taking charge of the country and becoming the king. So he had gone back, but he was unable to take his wife and son along with him. So at that time he gave an offer, or he made a promise to his wife that took her to the top of a mountain and buried his sword and sandals, and put a very big boulder on the top of it, and told her that when our son will grow up, and when he reaches as strong as to move this boulder, so you can send him to me, and I will make him my heir. So I take care of the child, and he grown up, and he reached 12 years. So when he reached the 12 years, Aethra had taken him to the top of the mountain and told him to move the boulder, but he was not strong enough to move it, because the boulder was very much big, and he has not grown up sufficient. So what happens the next year again they came. So it went on like that up to 18th year, when he reached 18 years of age. So until that time they tried many times, but could not succeed. So at the age of 18, when he came to the top of the mountain, so he became so much intelligent, as well as he had learned a lot amount of techniques, all the martial arts, and so many things he has learned, and he became very much a powerful person. So that time he became very much efficient, and he was able to move this boulder. So this time he did not try to lift it up, but he tried to roll it with a stick. So he started to use his brain for making the work less. Okay, so he knows if we try to lift a stone with our hands, just by lifting as it is like that, then it is very difficult. But if you use a stick to roll it, then it may be possible. So and less amount of, so you might have studied in physics about the lever, or if you have not studied, you are going to study. So there are like some kind of supports are there, or some kind of things which we use for helping our activities, or like wheels are there. So if we want to carry a thing, so we can use a wheel. So if there's a trolley or any type of wheel and roll is there, so with that we can move it. So such a way he used his technique to remove this boulder, and under it he found the sword and the sandal. So he asked, what is it, and what is the meaning of this one, what is the secret behind this one. Then his mother explained to him that this is the sword of your father, and your father is none other than the king of Athens, Aegis. Okay, so he was surprised to hear this one, and he was very much excited, and he asked, why didn't you let me know it before? Then she said that your father had already commanded me not to reveal these things until you remove the boulder. So, and also he had given a promise that once you are able to remove this big stone from its position, you can send him to me, to my palace, and I will make him my heir. So that was, and as an identification you have to carry the sandal as well as the sword. So the mother has told her son to go to Athens and meet your father. Okay, so now my son, take your father's sword and the sandals and leave for Athens at once, said Aethra to her son. So she gave instruction to his son to go to Athens and meet his father. Okay. Immediately, you may take page number 33. Immediately Theseus took the sword and the sandals and set out for Athens. To reach Athens, Theseus had to travel through dense forest full of wild animals and robbers. But Theseus was not afraid. He was strong and brave. He was an excellent swordsman. He killed many bandits who blocked his path. The news of his brave deeds soon reached the city ahead of him. So he did not wait for anything. When he heard about his father, so he was so much excited to see his father and he wanted to go to Athens. So immediately Theseus took the sword and the sandals and set out for Athens. So he got ready for going to Athens. And the road to reach to Athens was not very easy. So they had to travel. He had to travel through the dense forest, very thick forest. And in this forest there are so many wild animals as well as there are so many robbers. So these people or these wild animals may attack him, or the robbers may be also attack. Okay. So reach Athens, Theseus had to travel through dense forest full of wild animals and robbers. Robbers means thieves. So they are in the forest area and all, they are hiding there, and when any people are traveling through that way, they will attack them. Sometimes they will kill them and take out all the properties that they are having. And he is having a very powerful sword and a sandal, and he may also have some other things in his hand. So they will attack him. So that is a very bigger problem. But he was not afraid. But Theseus was not afraid. He was strong and brave. So he was very much strong as well as brave. So what is the meaning of brave? Brave means the courageous, the strength that the person is having. So courageous, so strength, so much strong he was. So strong as well as brave. Okay. He was an excellent swordsman. So he was an excellent swordsman means he has learned the art of making use of the sword and attacking the animals. So how to make use of the sword, and you might have seen in some TV programs and all are there. So in that they are playing with the sword, and also two people are there attacking with the sword or fighting with the sword. So there are people, those who have got trained for playing with the sword, and also if you try to play and all, then it will cut our body itself, or it may attack with another person, it will cut on their body. But when a person is expert, so they know how to handle it. So it is very difficult to do this type of job, isn't it? So because it is very risky, when you use it, if you don't use it in a proper way, it may cut our body itself. Okay, so it will have. But he has learned, so he was a very expert swordsman. He killed many bandits who blocked his path. Okay, bandits means the robbers or the thieves. So the people, those who came to block his path. So there were also on the way he had to meet with many robbers. Many people were there, those who were coming to attack him and try to catch him. There are so many robbers or so many thieves were there on the way. And he was very expert, so he could defeat all of them. He killed many of the robbers. Okay. The news of his brave deeds soon reached the city ahead of him. So this news has spread. So there's like when on the way he was coming and he killed many thieves. So somebody might have escaped and they have spread the news. And this information had been passed to different people, especially to the place where he was going, to Athens. And there already they have reached that a person is coming, very much courageous and very much brave. So he has killed many bandits and even the wild animals. So he is that much powerful. It is not that a normal person with less courage or less bravery will not be able to come forward like so, because there are so many robbers are there, as well as there are so many wild animals are there. So only very expert person or only very courageous person will be able to move forward, attack these people. So this story became very much famous in the city areas. When he reached the city, the people cheered him and took him to King Aegeus. So when he reached the city, so there were so many people. So they received this news that a person has come like that, though victorious, and crossed this forest. So as so far anybody might not have crossed this forest and come. So because of that, they were very much excited, and they gathered together to receive him. So when he came, then they cheered him and took him to King Aegeus. When Aegeus saw the sword and the sandals, he got up from his throne and ran to embrace his son. So when he saw, and in his hand there was the sword of his sword, and the sandals were there. So when he saw this one, the king was sitting on the throne, and he suddenly got up from his throne and came near to embrace him. So he was so much excited to see his son back after many years. Okay. So he came and embraced his son. My son, my dear son, I have been waiting for you. I am so glad to see you, my son, he said to Theseus. So he said that, my son, my dear son, I have been waiting for you. So he has already given the promise, and he knew that he is, so Aegeus is a very courageous person, and his son also will be a courageous, or he will become a courageous person. That he knew, and he was waiting for this person to come back. So around 18 years of time, so when soon after the birth of the child, he had to go. So he was not there, and this child has grown up and now reached 18 years of age, and after that he came back to the palace. So he was very much excited, very much happy to see his son back. Okay, I am so glad to see you, my son. And he said that I am so happy, so much excited, so much happy to see you. Glad means to be happy. Okay. So he said to Theseus, the throne is yours, you are my heir, let me show you to my people. And as he has promised, he has already given the promise that when you come back to my palace, I will give you my throne, you will be my heir, so you will become the next king. So he came to the palace, and he said that now the throne is yours, you can take charge of the country, you can become the next king. So you are my heir. Heir means the person who is handing over, or the next person who is taking care of the right of dealing with the country and so on. So the meaning is given at the back of the book. You can see page number 34 in a word power box is there. In that it is given like a person who has legal right to get property of parents. Okay. So a person who has the legal power to get the property of the parents. So the son is the main meaning of that. See, like if there is another person, if the parents have given the agreement, so that person is the heir. So one who is legally legal right is there for getting the property of the parents. So that person is called as the heir. Okay. So means normally it is the son, and if they don't have a son, then a daughter or daughter's husband will be there as the next heir. And in some places it is like that. Some places the daughter's husband may not be permitted, only the son will be permitted. So if in a situation, if a person is not having a child, they will adopt a child. Okay. So then that child, if they give permission, they will also become the heir. Okay. So this one, the throne is yours, you are my heir, let me show you to my people. So, and he said that I will show you to my people. So the people are waiting there, and I will inform them that this is my son. So they don't know who is coming, or who is this so much a brave person. So they found that there is a very brave person, and they have killed many robbers and came across the forest. So he must be a very great person. So, and who is he? They don't know. So they have to, Theseus, he said that I will inform who is this person. I will inform to my people. So saying, he ran out to the palace, showing his son to everyone. So he went out to the palace, and he started showing his son to everyone in that. So all his people are there. So he started to introduce him with everyone. Theseus had been in the palace for a few days, when he heard the sound of weeping and wailing from the streets. So Theseus ran to his father to find out the cause of the trouble. Okay. So he was living in the palace for many days. After that he was living in the palace. But when one time he started to listen to he heard a sound sound of the people weeping and wailing, crying. So the people in their city are crying. So then he could hear the sound of the people crying, and he could not understand what is the reason. So he wanted to know what reason may be there. So he went to his father and asked him about the cause of the trouble. "Father, why are the people weeping and wailing?" asked Theseus. So he asked to his father that why are these people so much weeping and wailing? So he asked for the reason. So he wanted to know why the people are crying. So then he explained the story, or explained the reason why these people are crying. "One day there was a fierce battle between Athens and Crete," said Aegeus to his son. "We were defeated. The ruler of Crete, King Minos, agreed to give us peace on one condition." So there was a war between the neighboring country. One day there was a fierce battle between Athens and Crete. So Crete is another country, neighboring country, and there was a very fierce, very strong war between these countries, and the Athens was defeated. So the Crete, they have became the victorious, and when they have defeated, they agreed to give them peace on a condition. So the ruler of Crete, King Minos, so the King Minos was there, and he said that we will give you peace on one condition. So one condition is there. Every year we have to send him 7 maidens and 7 young men. So he said that every year we have to ask for living a happy life. They have this country from Athens, they have to send 7 maidens and 7 young men. So maidens means unmarried young woman. Both are unmarried young girls and young boys. So 7 boys and 7 girls has to be sent. Okay. So this is the condition, and they will take these people. So 7 boys and 7 girls has to be sent to the Crete, to the palace of the King Minos. Every year we have to send him 7 maidens and 7 young men. Today the messengers have come from King Minos demanding the yearly gift. Now the king has sent messengers to send these people. So every year the king messengers of the king will send a message to the king that they have to send 7 maidens and 7 young men. And when along with the messengers, they will be taken there to the king of the Crete, Minos. So then this is now the message has come for the yearly gift. 7 maidens and 7 young men of this city will be chosen by Lord. This is the reason why people are weeping and wailing, my son. So he said that now the 7 maidens and the 7 young men will be chosen by Lord. They will take Lord, and whoever gets the Lord will have to go and be with the so they have to be taken to the palace of Crete, to the king Minos. What happens to these men and maidens we send? So then he said that why they are taking it, or what happens to these people if they are going. So if they are going and coming back, there is no problem. But if they go, then they never come back. So, and what happens to these people? For what they need these 7 people? Okay, 14 people, 7 maidens and 7 young men. Asked Theseus. King Minos has a terrible monster called Minotour. He is a fierce and wicked beast, half bull and half man. He lives in a maze near the palace, and every year he eats 7 maidens and 7 young men. So these people who have been sent will be taken to a monster. So King Minos has a terrible monster called Minotour. So Minotour is a very big monster, very powerful and very strong monster, and this is a man-eating monster. And this monster will eat 7 maidens and 7 men every year. So as a food for this beast, they are sending these people. So these people, those who are going, they will be taken as the food for the monster. So this monster will be attacking them and killing them and eating. So that is the story. So that is why people are afraid. So all those who are going will be died. So that is why the people are there so much weeping and crying, because their sons and their daughters, or who is going to get the chance of going. So or if they get the Lord, they have to go. So that is the rule. So he is a fierce and wicked beast, half bull and half man. So he is a half bull and a half man. So that is all this, like we have told that this is an imaginary story. And if you ask if there is a person like that, half bull and half man, if it is there or not, that we don't know. We have not seen anyhow. But in the ancient stories and all, it was there. So in that, you might have heard in some stories such kind of things like that. So this is there or not, that we don't know, but it is already available in the stories. Okay. So he is there, and he is a very big monster. He lives in a maze near the palace, and every year he eats 7 maidens and 7 young men. So he is living in a maze near the palace, and every year he eats these 7 maidens and 7 young men who has been sent from Athens. So every year they have been sending, and every year they were eaten. So this is a tradition which goes on. Father, I shall be the 7th young man, said Theseus to his father. So then he made a very different request to his father, that I also want to go along with these people, those who are going. Okay, so there are still like 7 maidens and 7 men had to go, and I will be one among the 7 men who are going. So they see like I will go, and his plan is to kill the wild animal. Father, I shall be the 7th young man, said Theseus to his father. So he asked permission from his father to go in the place of this 7th person. No, I cannot send you, my son. You are the heir to the throne. If you do not return from Crete, Athens will have no future king. No, I cannot allow you to go, said Aegis, embracing his son. So any father is there. So in such a situation, if your son is going to be killed, or if you are going to a very risky job, any parent will not allow him, isn't it? Because we know that he is. So this is a very, very dangerous animal, and all those who have gone in front of this animal has been killed by the monster. So anybody will not send their son knowingly to in front of this type of animal. So but the son had asked permission to his father that I also want to go in front of this monster. And he said that, no, I will not allow you to go. I cannot send you. My son, you are the heir to the throne. So you have to be the next king. You are the heir to the throne, and you have to be the next king. And if you do not return from Crete, Athens will have no future king. So if anything happens to you, then you are the only son, and if you don't come back, then the country Athens will not have a king in the future. So after the death of Aegis, there will not be any king. So that is a problem. So because of that, I cannot send you. So he said, Aegis, embracing his son. So and he embraced and said him that I cannot send you. But Aegis tried to stop his son from going, but Theseus was determined to go. Finally, his father was forced to agree to his demand. So even though father had no interest to send his son, he tried so many times to stop him for going. But Theseus was determined to go. So he had a very strong determination to go. So he was taken a very strong decision that I will go. So he has taken, so once if he has taken a decision, nobody can change him. So he made the decision, and finally his father was forced to agree to his demand. So he was very much adamant in his decision. So whatever decisions that he is taking, so that he will do it. So he has made the decision and made his father understand that I am not going to be killed, and I will come back. I will kill the wild animal, and I will come back, and I will be the king. So he is the king of the, if he is going to be the next king, then he has to protect the people from any kind of dangers. So that is the power of a king. So if a king is there, so he has to take care about that. So he should be the first one to go and attack any wild people. So that is the rule. Okay, so or that is the policy that we have to be followed in earlier in the ancient times. So you might have seen like in some movies and all, are there some kings or some people, they are there, they are going and attacking. So, but normally in cases what the kings are doing is that they send their army, they send their people, soldiers. So the soldiers will go and attack, and if the soldiers dies, then they agree the failure. But there are some courageous kings are there, they go directly and attack the opponents. So these are these. So that is about the chapter. So we have completed the first part of this chapter. There is also the remaining portion of this chapter is in the another second part of this chapter. Okay. Okay then. Thank you so much.